Well, look at it. It must be Tuesday.
Look at it.
We are in
Yes, and guess who's back? Guess who's back? Looking healthy and refreshed and all of that. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Down in sports. So we in the building. I am left-handed, right? You find me on X, which used to be Twitter, at RM Desk. My code D is in the building. The hardest working person in the building. Yeah, the Bears in the house. We got 2 hours tonight, y'all. All right, so go, do what you do. You know what I mean? Get your libations and all that stuff together because we're gonna go over a lot of stuff and talk. We got some catching up to do, right? Um, SummerSlam just happened. Browski gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Um, NFL's get ready. We had a game already. Week zero, right? They went and
Week
stole week
zero.
zero from the NCAA, right? We saw the Lions and the
Sure.
Chargers, right? Football's getting ready to pop off. Okay, excited about that. Browski wants to talk. Um, I wouldn't say ad nauseum, but Browski's cool people, so she wants to talk about her Eagles Super Bowl ring, which is hard. So she gonna get space. We might do a special edition of Yada Bear Says on this joint right here.
For real.
Um, we gonna get into the Major League Baseball trade deadline, which just passed last
Yep.
week. Um, get into what the Phillies are doing, and unfortunately what the Yankees are doing. Jesus Christ, but we'll
Not
get into that.
unfortunately.
Um, WNBA, they're throwing things on the court in the WNBA, and
Crazy.
yeah,
Wow.
you know, you
I ain't never
um,
seen nothing like that ever.
yeah, I never see. I listen. I wasn't. What Nori say? I wasn't ready.
For
But
real.
we're gonna get into a lot of that. So without any further ado, we starting off early tonight. You know what I mean? Because we going hard body karate in the paint. We gonna be all over the place like we do. But the show wouldn't be the show unless you heard from the Code D, Yada Bear, aka Browski, aka High Ceilings, aka my closer is better than yours. What's up, Browski? What's good?
Man, just trying to survive out in these seasonal allergy streets. You
Mm-mm.
know, had me down bad, but
Mm.
I have survived. I have come through the other side.
Okay,
Um,
okay, okay,
um,
okay.
but during that time, a lot of things happened in the sports world.
Mm-hmm.
The trade deadline for Major League Baseball had came and went. Um, a lot of movement. Um,
Lot of movement. Lot.
a lot of move. It
One of
was
the
like one of the trades seasons. Like it was just
Yeah, yep. Go ahead, Browski.
like
Absolutely. One of the yeah.
everybody was extremely active. If you was buyers, sellers. Um, Surprisingly, a team like the Twins that we was
Got rid of
kind of high
everybody.
on, they had a fire sale, and you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I was happy about it. Okay, because we was able to score a closer in Johan Durant, and he is everything that I imagined in the closer by just having him for like 3 days. Um, it was like a whole big production when he came out for his first close, like for his first save opportunity. They had like a light show. The music was playing. It was crazy at Citizen Bank Park when he came out there. It was like a little like a mini club. But he came out there, giving me 103 mile per hour fastball. I seen a 88 miles per hour splitter. I saw the 84 mile per hour curveball. I said, "Yo, this guy is just throwing all the heat." And it was such a great deal that we got him, basically for a bag of peanuts. Um, One thing about me, I don't really care about like prospects like that because in Major League Baseball, you can be a prospect for 10 years, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
you might
That's
not
right.
even make it to the big leagues. So you telling me that I have an 18-year-old catcher who could be good or could be great, but we gotta wait 4 to 5 more years to see his development. I'm cool if I can get a guaranteed bona fide closer today. I'm trying to win today. I don't want to wait 5 years.
Broski, I got
I
five
don't
years.
want.
So
I don't want to wait 5 years. He and this guy, he could turn out to be the next, Buster Posey. He could be fantastic back there. But that's 5, 6 years from now.
down the line, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to win today. So when people be all hard up like, oh, well, we gave away this prospect. Okay, that's why they call them prospects, because you don't know. You don't know who, what they really going to pan out to be. They could be a bust, or they could be a okay guy, or a utility guy. But sometimes you have guys who never become the guy and spend their whole career in triple and
Trying to
double
be
A.
right, right.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because you still making some bread. You playing the game that you love, but you just didn't make it to the big leagues. So when your team is out there moving and shaking and making deals and sending a million prospects to a team for a bona fide star, don't be angry. Especially in baseball, don't be angry. You're never gonna see those guys anyway. You have like a handful of guys that you know, we're gonna see him next year. You know,
Right. They're gonna be at the next level.
he's gonna be up to, yeah. We're seeing him develop. We're seeing him gradually
Mm-hmm.
move from double A, now he's in triple A, and now it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he can get called up at any moment.
Right.
You only have a
Right.
handful of those guys. Truthfully, you might have about two or three a year, and majority of them are pitchers that go up and down. You know,
Scoobles,
yeah,
schemes.
that will come up, may be up for two series. Next thing you know, they back down in Triple A. For like roster moves and stuff like that. So like, I don't mind it. I'm looking like give away more prospects so we can get a better bat. We brought in Harrison Bainer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's an okay bat. I was looking for more of a splash. You know, the Mariners took the guy that I wanted. For him to just disappear in Seattle, because Seattle's not really doing anything. I'm tired of these teams getting these players that they're not going to do anything with, because the organization stays in the same spot. Um, the Padres did a lot of moving. So did the Mets. Especially on those last 2 days, Padres and the Mets was very active. Um, I know
Ask me what
another
the
team.
Yankees did.
I was about to say, I know another team that was pretty active, and we saw the fruits of
Go
labor
ahead. Yep, that's right. That's right. That's
when
right.
they touched the field. You want to elaborate on that,
I
Les?
sure do.
Go right ahead.
Absolutely. Freaking lootly. Look, after the trade deadline was finished, I looked at what the Yankees got. Garbage, as opposed to what Padres, Mason Miller, Phillies, Yon Duran. What the hell? And again, we talked about this, Yada Bear. We talked about this before the trade deadline. We said this trade deadline, we're going to see who's about that life and who ain't.
Yeah,
The Padres, the Phillies, right? About that life. The Twins was about that get rid of your life,
yeah.
right?
Twins say everybody can
But
go.
the Yankees, I got to go in now because this stage is ours, and I'm going in. Like that first game against the who? Not the Phillies, not the Dodgers, not the Cubs, not the Tigers, not the Astros, the Miami Marlins. You brought in Bednar. He couldn't catch a cold. Then you got Caballero, who's playing out of position in right field. Why are you charging the ball like a little leaguer?
And then
And you see what happens when you charge the ball like a little leaguer?
we'll
The
run over
ball gets past you, and the
somebody.
winning run scores.
Yeah,
So again, And here's another thing, Brasky. Oh, we got 2 hours. Oh, it's popping. We ain't even getting started yet. Jake Bird, who the Yankees got from the Colorado Rockies, just got sent down to AAA. So that tells you all you need to know, Kimmy,
I
about
saw
what we
that.
did
I
at the
saw
trade
that.
deadline. You know what I'm saying? That tells you all you need to know about what we did at the trade deadline. We didn't get a right-handed bat because he went to Philly. We didn't get no pitching, no starting pitching, because now Max Fried is starting to pitch
Max Fried from
like
Atlanta.
Marcus Stroman. He's starting
Yep.
to pitch like Marcus Stroman, and we got rid of him.
Listen, we know what Matt Freed is all about because the closer you get to September, October, Matt
Browski,
Freed
we five and a
starts.
half games. We 5.5 games behind.
Yes.
Right? We 5.5 games behind right now. And Max Fried, his last 4 starts, he's pitched like garbage. Right? So, like you said, September, October, sure. We might not get to September the way it's looking, right? So again, we need
Yeah.
Max Fried, and we don't have no Louis Hill. We don't. Clark Schmidt is out for the year. Garrett Cole. So what was Steinbrenner, and especially Brian Cashman? Now I'm on the Brian Cashman got to go train.
You better go. I knew it. It was
I'm on.
coming.
Yeah, let's go. I'm
It
on
was
the Brian.
coming. I knew
I'm
it
on the
was
Brian
coming,
Cashman
bro.
got to go train. You've been here too long. You got rings, so you're not. It's not like you're leaving and doing a bad job. At the end of your tenure, son, it's kind of whack, right? Even Derek Jeter said it. Derek Jeter said there's no structure. You got a Yankee team, and Browski, you already know I'm not a pie in the sky person. I'm gonna tell it like it is. The Dodgers said it last year. The Yankees don't play defense. They don't know how to run the bases. Their situational baseball sucks. And then they're not getting anything from the management. So it carried over. Oh, April? Oh, we was killing it. With 6.5, 7 game lead. Whoop de woo. Right? Now when it's about to get real, when it's getting real, right? We're in the dog days, in the middle of dog days right now.
Yep. Right now,
Look at where you at. Look at where we at. Because I'm not gonna
dropping
leave
their
jump off the
games.
ship. That's my team. But Aaron Boone, what's the name of that movie, Browski? Dead Man Walking? That's Aaron Boone.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, because you're going to scramble to make the playoffs.
Well, yeah,
First of
y'all
all,
would be in the
you're
dog
going to
fight
scramble.
with Seattle, Texas, and probably Cleveland for their last wild card. For what? Y'all
And
be
you're not
still.
beating none of them teams.
Yeah, for that wild
You're not
card
beating none
spot.
of them teams. And every one of those teams that Yana Bear just mentioned has a guy or two,
Yeah.
right? The Mariners got Cal Raleigh.
Yes.
They got Julio Rodriguez, his bat starting to wake up, right?
Yep. They just
Okay.
got
Then
Suarez.
you got, you know what I mean? Detroit doing their thing. So each of
Yeah.
those teams has a guy offensively and that can pitch. The Mariners got a couple of them,
Yeah. Yeah. And then you
right?
got
The
you got the
Brian Wu kid
Rangers.
and George Kirby.
Yeah.
Then you look at Detroit. You're not beating them. You're not beating Detroit. You might not beat the Boston Red Sox.
Well,
You're not going to beat Toronto because every
right
game
now,
Toronto plays the Yankees, they play like it's game 7 of the World Series.
yeah, because
Every
right
game.
now the Red Sox is two and a half games up on y'all for the first wild card spot, and then y'all in Seattle are tied, and then Texas is only a game and a half back. Cleveland is only 2.5 games back, so that means that the Rangers is only a game back from y'all.
Yeah, man. Like we barely over 500. We like 6 or 7 games over 500.
Yeah, 60 and
In
50.
August, we
Yeah,
6 games up, 7 games over 500 in
yeah,
August.
yeah.
Where they do that at? So
New York.
that tells you all. I'm not gonna go. I do want to go off, and I am gonna go off because you had a shot to compete. It was wide open, Browski. The trading deadline, it was wide open. It was wide open. You could have made a move and be like, "Oh, the Yankees are back. The Yankees are back." But again, at the end of the day, I'm not going to put it all on Aaron Boone because Aaron Boone's not the one that don't know how to run the bases. Aaron Boone is not the one pitching to a 6.49 ERA. Marcus Stroman, right? Aaron Boone is not the one that's always relying on Aaron Judge. Oh, we're gonna get Aaron Judge back. So what? Aaron Judge strikes out with runners in second and third with less than 2 outs as well.
That's true.
So again,
Y'all
what?
just
It,
relying on the long ball. That's what y'all waiting for Aaron
yeah,
Judge
let me say that
and
all for the last 2 or 3 years, waiting for Aaron Judge to hit a home run. Because if you think that you're gonna get a consistent 7, 8 innings out of your starter, no, you're not. If you think that you're going to get 2 innings out of your middle relief, no, you're not. If you think that you're going to get an inning out of your closer, no, you're not.
yo,
So again, at the end of the day, the Yankees suck right now. I hate to even sound like a certain fan that's down I-95 a little bit that talks about when their team is going good, they're like, we going to the World Series, and when their team is going bad, they want to jump off the cliff.
yeah.
I'm not gonna say no names. But
Well, I mean,
it's a certain person that we all know that's down I-95 a little bit. You know what I mean? That they playing a little bank or something like that or whatever. But I ain't gonna say because it's on me right now.
a wonderful bank.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. That big
I just
beautiful
watched
bank.
I just watched Max Kepler hit a 2-run home run off of those funky Baltimore Orioles who are
There you
crazy
go.
about.
Talk about a disappointment, right? But again, the Yankees are about to be a bigger disappointment than the Orioles. Let's go, Browski. Like
I
the
mean,
Orioles had their season, but again, they didn't do nothing in the playoffs.
they didn't
So
do
like it's like
nothing in the
okay,
playoffs,
but the
and they hit a
Yankees are
ball.
expected to win the World Series.
Yeah.
You
Well,
might not make the playoffs. And I'm gonna say
well,
this right here. I'm
maybe.
gonna put my face in the camera. The
Uh,
Yankees don't make the playoffs. Aaron Boone's fired. Yankees
well,
don't make the playoffs.
you might
Brian
not make.
Cashman's gonna resign. Brian Cashman's gonna resign. He's not gonna get fired. Brian Cashman's gonna resign. He's gonna
Well,
say, "Oh, go ahead, Kimmy. I'm sorry."
maybe you guys are just having a World Series hangover.
For what? For dropping the ball in the fifth inning?
Hey, from being in there, maybe
Oh,
it's
that's
y'all
not.
hangover.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna even disregard that statement because these cats are new to it. They're new to it, Kim. So that
Yeah,
does make some sense right there. What you
World
just said.
Series hangover, right? And I mean, also you got to put some props on the other teams. The competition has gotten better. Toronto.
Browski, we're losing. We're blowing games on our own. Look, you know what I mean? So again, I tip my hat to the competition, but come on, man, we're helping the competition beat us.
True.
You know what I mean? So again, like when you say, oh well, we're going through it right now, the Phillies, whoop de woo, I'll be like, yo, it's just a moment in time. Everybody gonna get hot. But your lineup, if Harper's not doing it, Schwarber's gonna do it. If Schwarber's not gonna do it, Castellanos is gonna do it. If Castellanos, it's gonna be somebody else.
Yeah.
Even if you lose.
Yeah.
And then when you send the pitchers out there, you send Christopher Sanchez out there, right? You send these other guys out there, and they're all dope. We are, you are the Phillies, what the Yankees are supposed to be.
Yeah, definitely do pride our starting rotation. That was the main focus of the all season was our starting rotation,
Mm-hmm.
making sure our guys are healthy, making sure our guys can go long. Like 6 innings, 7 innings. Like to be able to go like 6 and 2/3 is a blessing because now we don't have to rely super heavy on our bullpen.
Let's go,
And
Brocky.
and when you do rely on your bullpen, you have your two setup guys that you can bring in, and then you bring in your closer,
Mm-hmm.
in the ninth. So I'm just happy that we're able, to do that with our starting rotation. Even with Aaron Nola being out, um, the other guys have definitely stepped up. Christopher Sanchez has really emerged as truly in my eyes, the number two in the future of our starting rotation. Once Zach Wheeler and Nolan, all them guys, go. I feel like he's gonna be like the stable guy, like the future of our starting rotation. So I'm so excited to see how he has developed. Lazardo, he's on and off sometimes.
What
He's
about
getting
Ranger?
I'm getting Ranger. Lazaro has been on for the most part. Ranger also has been typical Ranger. You know, giving us good outings. Going long in innings. I always feel in my heart to heart because like was pertaining to the pitchers, I have like an old school mentality. I feel like my starting pitcher should be going 7 innings. Like in my mind, my starting pitcher should be playing the whole game. You know, like you're the starting pitcher for a reason. Like you should be going seven. Like you go to seven shouldn't be a surprise. Like we shouldn't have an award for somebody going 7 innings when you're a starting pitcher. My expectation for my starting pitcher is to go 7, maybe 8 innings, depending on what you giving me. If you're still able to get outs, why would I pull you? Like I feel like these managers get a little are a little too soft on their starting pitchers by pulling them prematurely. And then you go to your bullpen, and next thing you know, you done gave up the game because you took out your starting pitcher who was out there throwing a gem, but just because it's the sixth inning and he threw out 80 pitches, now you want to pull him. Like that's to me. I always think that's corny, and I
Because
think
that's
it's
what the book
whack.
right. Because that's what the book says.
Yeah, like
Yeah. No.
if he go for a certain amount of pitches, you gotta pull him out. No, if he can still go, he can still go. Like
The, the
it's a rare thing when your starting pitcher has a complete game. That's rare. It's crazy.
right. Right.
It's like it's like a batter hit for the cycle. Like that's something rare that happens.
Right.
So
With somebody hitting 4 home runs in the game.
yeah, but you telling me that my starting pitcher come out there and he pitch all 9 innings? It's like, oh my god, it's a
Right.
complete
Right. In
game.
history, we
Yeah,
haven't seen this. I mean, what are you
like
talking
no,
about?
I,
I
I I
mean,
expect this guy to
right.
pitch
And,
the
and, and
whole
not for
game.
nothing, and not for nothing, like you said, not to cut your wisdom.
Hmm.
When are we going to get back to that?
Yeah, these guys are making damn near half a billion
Let's go,
dollars.
Browski. Come on.
Okay, so you
Come
telling
on.
me that you making 400 million dollars and you can only pitch 5 and 3/4, 6 innings maybe. Oh my God, you go 7. It's a freaking miracle, but you getting paid then $500 million and you not
You
giving
getting
me
paid. You getting paid like you winning 25 games a year.
exactly, and you
You
can't
getting
even
paid.
you
Let's
can't even
go,
go
Browski.
7 innings.
Listen, that's why Browski's in the building, and
That's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
hold
saying.
Browski
Like you
down.
can't even go
You getting
seven
paid
innings.
like like you getting paid like you got a under two, a sub two ERA. You getting paid like you strike out 300 people a year. You getting paid like you win 25 games. You getting paid like you pitch 250 plus innings.
Exactly.
Like, and then get mad if you don't get that bread.
Yeah.
And then you
Exactly.
want to, then you want, what's it, Browski? Then you want an IL for a month.
Yeah. Yeah. You got you got soreness in your throw and elbow all of a sudden.
Yeah. And then after that, here goes those 2 letters that those 3 letters now, they turned it into 3 letters that we all want to avoid. TJS. It used to be just TJ. Now it's TJS. And
Yeah.
it's what's this word I'm thinking of, Browski? It's a proliferation of Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
It was few and far between, Kimmy.
Yeah.
Now
That's
it's like
like
3 or 4 pitches a year, or maybe you know what I mean.
that's
Gotta go
like
to Tommy John.
it's like getting Tommy John surgery now is like a rite of passage of being a starting pitcher.
Mm,
If you ain't a pitcher,
mm,
you ain't get Tommy John yet. Oh no, you ain't no real pitcher yet.
mm,
Wait till you come back after your Tommy John surgery, and then you see
mm.
how well
And
you did.
then we'll see
Like,
where you at.
yeah, it's wild to me. It's wild, but I mean, we are now, going over, turning that corner
Mm-hmm.
where the nights are getting longer. The
Mm-hmm.
daytime's getting shorter. Um, the weather's about to start changing,
Let's go,
and
Kim.
we are
Mm-hmm.
about to really start seeing who will be playing in October.
Right.
Right
And who
now,
won't be playing in October?
who
Right.
won't be playing. So right now, everybody's fighting for position. Everybody made their moves at the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
One
Mm-hmm.
of the busiest trade deadlines we had in a while.
When they say that, I usually raise my eyebrows and roll my eyes, but
Mhm.
I cannot front. This is one of this is what a trade deadline was supposed to be,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
This
And
felt
you couldn't
way.
keep up. It was
Yeah,
so much you couldn't keep
it
up.
was it was
Like,
breaking news. Like every
yeah.
like 10 minutes, it was like, oh, this guy moved. Oh, this guy moved. This guy. I was like, what? Like it's crazy.
What
I
was the
love
what was
it.
the biggest surprise trade to you?
Um. Oh. Carlos Cabrera going back
Back
to
to Houston, right?
Houston.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all. I was like, I said, what? They just gave him a check like what, like last year,
Yeah. Yep.
and now you trading him
You trade him
back to
back to
Houston.
Houston, and that just put the super battery in Houston
Yeah, so
Astros.
now I'm looking at Houston like, so what, he gonna play third base?
Yeah, you're gonna play third base because Jeremy Pena is gonna play
Yeah,
short. Yeah.
yeah. So
So
now, I'm looking at Houston like, oh, so I mean, they already top of the West. They got a 3-game lead over Seattle. You just bring back Carlos Cabrera back to an organization where he's very familiar with, in the stadium that he's very familiar with. Um, that was a wild move. Um, Suarez going to Seattle, that was also a wild move. I was actually surprised that Stephen Kwan didn't get moved, but they wanted
I.
because we was looking at Kwan. They wanted
Mm-hmm.
a lot from the. They wanted like a king's ransom for Kwan. I said, oh, okay, that's why we went the Harrison Beta route.
Lead off hitter who's all of a sudden turned into a power guy.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
he was never that. Like
All
two
out
years
of
ago,
nowhere,
he
like
was
on some
never that.
Brady Anderson. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, again, like you said, you guys got some stuff. You
yeah,
guys got people that you could put on the back page of your paper out there in Philly and say, "This is what we got. This is what we walked away with at the trade deadline," and
yeah,
people will be like, "Okay," but
yeah,
then you look at us. We got a whole bunch of nothing. We got a whole bunch of nothing. Jake Bird, AAA. Jose Caballero can't catch a cold. David Bednar, he tried to intimidate somebody and get rocked all over the place. So again, what the hell did you do? And now, and here's the thing, Browski. Don't get me started, Browski. Now we back on talking of these Yankees. This is why, and this is what's going to exasperate. That's another big word. Pat
mm,
myself on the back. Exasperate the hastening of Brian Cashman resigning. He's not going to get fired.
yeah,
He's going to resign because Aaron Boone is going to get fired. Aaron Boone is going to get fired like a mofo,
yeah.
straight like that. All right, because again, I said this 3 years ago. You can't live off that walk off home run forever, especially if you ain't got your own a World Series that you manage the Yankees to.
Yeah,
Then you could be the king of New York. Then you could be the king of New York. But that's not. And you was in the World Series. You lost 2 years in a row to the Houston Astros. I'm not talking about no banging on the garbage. I'm not worried about that. You lost. Why? Because Stanton couldn't hit runners in field scoring position. Judge definitely wasn't hitting with runners in scoring position. And the
wasn't.
pitching wasn't doing what it was supposed to do.
No,
Now
it
you
was
come to
bad.
last year when you get to the World Series, after having to go 7 games,
Uh huh.
and then you forget how to play fundamental defense in the fifth inning and blew it because the Dodgers did not want to go back to LA for Game 6. But you didn't even know prosperity was in your hands. You acted like the ball had, I don't know, something on it that you was didn't want to touch.
You s-
And Browski, and here we go, Browski.
don't mind.
Beginning of the
Don't
season,
mind
what
me
did I
saying.
say? I said I'm not going to forget about this. And you was like,
Okay.
oh, well, you know, this and that. Listen, check this out here. Aaron Judge and the Yankees are under pressure right now. Third
Mhm.
place ain't gonna get it. The last wild card position ain't gonna get it. And you're gonna be scrambling. What did we say earlier? We're gonna get off of this because it's got to make me mad. I need a drink. Right? The other teams, Toronto, Boston, Detroit, Seattle, right? They're not waiting for you. They're not waiting for you to get right.
Now they
They're
looking
not
past
waiting for
you.
Louis Hill to come back. They're not waiting for Aaron Judge to come back. They're not waiting for that. They're off to the races with the new additions. No disrespect to Ralph, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike,
Mm,
John. Right? So again, my thought as a Yankee dude who been rocking with the Yankees for 24, 35, that's 49. Next year will be
forever.
50 years. Right? Right. Forever.
Carry the
I heard you,
one.
Bosky. Yeah.
Carry,
See?
carry the
Right?
one.
And it's seeing the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. But this is as bad as it gets. You know, when you start talking to Yankee fans that you don't even know, and y'all come to the same conclusion, we wish George Steinbrenner was. You know what I mean? I'm talking to the dude that didn't even know him. We just talking. Yo, and we looked at it like, if George Steinbrenner was here, the Yankees would have everybody, and y'all would really be mad. But that's not the case. But we do have a Steinbrenner in the front office and ownership. And the same guy, Browski, and we're gonna get into the NFL in a hot second. Down in Sports Talk, we're in the building. We back, we got the charge. The same guy that was around in 2009, that was around in 1998, 1999, 2000, right? The same
Mhm.
guy, Brian Cashman, right? So
Yeah.
now I mean, you know, it might be time for a different voice. I don't know who. You know, I wouldn't. You know, they were banning some names around like Willie Randolph, and they was talking about the man. You know, I
Yeah.
still got a holding out hope for Don Mattingly. I'm holding out hope for Don Mattingly. I think if the Yankees got Don Mattingly to be the manager, a lot of stuff will change. But that's just me. We in the building down in Sports Talk. One of us is a happy, cheery, smiling baseball fan. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. And one of us is highly upset, turning to Captain Graybeard over here. You know what I mean? But we out. We in the building, man. You already know what it is down in Sports Talk. We are back Tuesday night. We are refreshed and all that. And we get ready to go into Browski's favorite topic. Let me just say in front of a public that the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl ring is fire. It's hard body karate. It's hard in the paint. All the you know, the things that you want to say about it, you'll be right. Um, I'm jealous. I'm mad. I'm impressed. I'm hurt. All those feelings add up to nothing to the Eagles fan over here. But I will say that was a very the best Super Bowl ring I ever seen. The best Super Bowl ring I ever saw. You could fit two of the Steelers Super Bowl rings or two of the Cowboys Super Bowl rings inside that ring.
Yes, you can.
Now watch Browski go take that one. You
Yes,
can have
you
that one,
can.
Browski. You can have that one. You can take that one with you
Listen,
to work. You can
listen. That
and you can tell
ring,
that to
that
Cowboy
ring
fans. You
makes
can fit
it.
two Cowboy Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, that ring makes
Yes.
um.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah. That,
yeah, at the end
that
of
ring
go ahead,
fire.
Browski.
The ring is fire.
Yeah, I
Like
mean
we
you
were
can't
talking
front on
about
it.
it.
Hey, listen, I'm not even in a position to talk about it. I'm gonna let Browski because that's her team.
Yeah,
So you
we
go
was
ahead,
talking
Browski.
about it
It's the
behind the
floor is yours.
scenes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we talking about it behind the scenes earlier. And it was like, yo, that ring is fire. And then when the wings come out,
Oh
it's
my
like,
goodness.
what are we talking about? Like the Rams ring, I thought was fire. That opened up. They had the stadium inside. I
Okay,
thought
okay.
that ring. That's the Rams. They had the stadium inside. I thought
Hmm.
that ring was fire. But then when they And when they came out with this Eagles ring, and you punched the button, and the ring said, "Boop."
Yeah, the
I
rings come
said,
out.
"Yo." I ain't never seen a ring like that ever. I'm like
Man,
that ring
that
was
Eagles Super
really,
Bowl
really.
ring make
They
that
really
Rams ring look
outdid
like you get it out the
themselves.
supermarket for 25 cents.
Yeah, they really outdid themselves, and
Yeah, very, very
I feel
dope.
like this year's Super Bowl ring, whoever may win it, they got hard work to try to outdo that ring. But now that we're talking about football, the season
Mm-hmm.
has started.
Yep, week
Um,
0. Mm-hmm.
yeah, we had our first preseason game last Thursday, Hall of Fame game. Um, Salute to all the Hall of Famers, Sterling Sharp, Eric Allen, salute to those guys. We're finally, um,
Antonio Gates.
Antonio
Mm-hmm.
Gates, finally getting their gold jackets. Um, the game, it's a preseason game. It's first
Yep.
preseason
Yep.
game.
Right. What do you really expect?
It
Right.
was.
Right. Right.
It's exactly what sloppy. I know you Detroit Lions fans were jumping out the window. Okay, because this is a whole new offense and defense. New coordinators running the show on those sides of the football, and you guys gave up. Y'all just giving up the house. Even though I know it's preseason, but we still gotta look at formations and the plays, and some of the plays that y'all was calling. I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a little shaky over there. But
Hmm.
I'm excited that we're going to see these young guys play, especially in Cleveland. Cleveland has announced that Shador is going to start the preseason. Dylan Gabriel's hurt.
What do you read into that?
That everybody's hurt, and they signed another quarterback. So technically now the Browns technically have six quarterbacks on their roster. So you telling
You got
me
6 quarterbacks.
got
You
six
really ain't got
quarterbacks?
no.
You're really
You
3 years
really ain't got no
behind.
quarterback.
You really you still looking for a quarterback 3 years ago. You still have to
Hmm.
find that guy because
That's right.
why you have all these quarterbacks. But I mean, we I think Shador needs to take this opportunity to put his best foot forward because now he's
Mm-hmm.
getting an opportunity. With Gabriel being hurt, Kenny Pickett being a trash bag that he is,
Mm.
Joe
Mm.
Flacco being old, Deshaun Watson hurt and weird.
Not even caring. He got his money right.
Yeah, got
Mm-hmm.
his bread. He don't even care.
He pulled the Sean Alexander on everybody. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I feel like now, Sador, this is your chance.
Yep.
Show us what you're made of. Show us why you should be in the NFL. Make people regret not drafting you and making you fall all the way to fifth. This is what this preseason should be for him. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Let's go, Browski.
to show the world what mistake they made by not drafting him and showing that he can be a leader and he can be a man amongst other men and lead men into victory with the Cleveland Browns. Like show some life. Give them
And be
some hope.
successful at the next level. That's right.
Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
like even if you don't win, you can lose. You can start every preseason game and lose, but just show them that there is something there. It's like, oh, well, if we just bring in another receiver, he'll be good. Or oh, if we maybe get a better center or a better left tackle, he'd be good. So don't be the reason why they're not successful.
Mm.
Be the reason why they want to be successful. Like, we need to get this guy some help. We got to bring in some people. So, I'm very interested in seeing that. I'm also very interested about the development down in Jacksonville, where they had announced that Travis Hunter will start at wide receiver and be the backup corner. Bro, this ain't college. You're not starting the corner and wide receiver. You gotta pick one lane and
Right.
focus
Pick a struggle.
everything on that
Right.
struggle. Exactly. You can't. It was, bro. You was never going to play both sides as a starter. Them, I could see maybe as a backup. You know, I can maybe see them first throwing you in as special teams.
Mm.
Okay, to see, if you're able to really tackle in this NFL and not get hurt. But I definitely, myself personally, if I was to draft him, I would have drafted him as a receiver only. And yeah, you're going to play receiver, bro. You're not. I'm not drafting you with number two as a corner. That's ridiculous. I need you to catch the ball. You
And
know.
to add on to what you just said, Kim, I
Mhm.
think that when you talk about Travis Hunter and Jacksonville, yeah, we drafted you to catch passes from Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's why we drafted you. We
Yeah.
drafted you to catch passes from Trevor Lawrence. Now, if it's situations where you want to go out
Mhm.
there and Bo Nix is quarterbacking, or you want to go out there and Anthony Richardson or C.J. Stroud, or you name a quarterback that you got to go play, they're a receiver now.
Exactly. Now you got to
They're
go
number
get
one
him.
guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Get
Right.
out of here.
So, and again, I'm not really sure where that is going to be conducive to you. Spring. I know you see yourself as a shooting star to the top level. That I know you see yourself as that, and that's nothing wrong with that. But those Sundays and Thursdays and Mondays going to tell it. And nobody wants to hear no excuses when
Nobody.
Devontae Smith rocks you for 7 for 190, right? Or Justin Jefferson rocks you for 10 for 99 and 3 touchdowns.
We don't even got to
Like
go.
so,
Look, we don't even
nobody
got to
wants to
go that
hear
far.
nobody gonna want to hear that.
Tank
You know what I mean?
Tank Bell, 6 catches, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
That's on you. That's not on the other
Okay.
side. What's my man name,
Michael
Browski?
Pittman
Josh
Jr.
Norman. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
look, Michael Pittman Jr. 10 catches, 200 yards, two
Mm.
touchdowns. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like you getting college numbers put on you. Like this is
Yeah.
not.
You want to be the Travis Hunter wide receiver dude. You don't want to end
Yeah,
up turning into Josh Norman.
yeah.
Remember Josh Norman, Browski? Real quick, Josh Norman. This dude had a moment, can't front. Oh, now and then it turned it. Now when they started talking about, oh, we're gonna go away from him and he's this guy and blah blah blah. Then he started getting his behind tore up. And then
Look,
remember this, Browski? This was the most famous part. He only plays one side of the field. You remember that?
yeah, he don't play one side of the field, and
He only played
also,
what the I
and
was
then
like, what
and
the
then on top of that, Derrick Henry single handedly stiff armed
Oh,
him out the
I
league.
wasn't gonna bring that one up, Browski. Now you're doing too much. I was
Single
like,
handedly stiff armed him out the league.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
don't want to be that guy.
yep,
Focus on receiving. Be
yep,
the receiver. Be the
yep. Be the
best
receiver.
slot
Yeah, get
receiver
your
you
numbers
can
up. Yep, get your
be.
weight up. Yep,
Don't worry
yep.
about that over there. Don't worry about that over there. Let
Right.
them let them be them over there.
Mm-hmm.
I need you right here.
Right.
Focus
Because
right here.
Jacksonville needs more touchdowns than interceptions. I'll tell you that much right now. They need more touch. They need
More
way more touchdowns than they
they
do
need
interceptions.
they need a guy that can line up in the slot, run a slant or run a post, and catch a pass from Trevor Lawrence to see if it's really him or his receivers. Because I feel like this is Trevor Lawrence's final
Yep. Let's go,
chance
Browski.
before
I'm
he's
glad. Yep.
out of here.
Yep. That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
before he's
That's
he's
right.
gone. Because this guy has been a extreme disappointment, you know. And I need my Jag fans to realize that.
Florida
Just
boy Jay.
just realize that this has to be his make or break year. You can't have another year like you had last year and the year before. Oh, he came back after throwing 4 picks in the playoffs. and then he got rocked in the second playoff game. So what was the point of all that coming back against the Chargers? You
Against the
know,
Chargers, right,
and
right,
then
right. I remember
you
that.
come out the following year and you just a dud. It's like what's going on in Jacksonville, and you can't point the finger at Doug Peterson because Trevor Lawrence did this with another coach before Doug got there, and when Doug got there, he had his best year under Doug Peterson. Okay, so we have to take away that maybe it's the coach. No, it's the player. That's who's not on the field throwing
Right,
those passes. It's
right.
not Doug Peterson. It's your man Trevor Lawrence out there, not looking nowhere like the Trevor Lawrence that he did in Clemson. Okay,
All right,
throwing 20
so
passes.
I know Browski is chomping at the bit. She got her hat on. She ready to get it cracking. Talk about her Super Bowl, and that's how we will address the Philadelphia Eagles moving forward until Super Bowl Sunday, when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be announced the Super Bowl champions or whatever. But for now, here's Yana Bear, aka Browski, aka High Ceilings, to talk about her Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go, Browski.
Oh man, Thursday, first preseason game. Very excited about that. Hey, breaking news: we just made a trade yesterday. With the Las Vegas Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't very very happy with this secondary. Corner two is a big spot that has been left open, and we had Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo kind of battling out for Vic Fangio. He wasn't very thrilled with either one right now, and I definitely
Mm-hmm.
blame him. So we sent Super Bowl champion um, Thomas. What's the kid? I just forgot. Thomas Booker to um, to the Raiders, and we
Who
brought.
that?
Well, Thomas Booker was a defensive end, defensive tackle. He played in a couple games. He kind of undersized, but he's a good rotational piece. You know, our D line is pretty stacked, so he was the odd man out.
I thought you was gonna say you traded Quinion Mitchell
Oh
or
no! Oh no!
Cooper
Never that.
DeJean or something. That,
Oh
that
no!
that's breaking news. Like
Oh no!
Thomas,
No! No!
who
No! 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 Well, any move we make is breaking
is
news.
breaking? Look at this.
Is breaking news. But we definitely brought in Bennett from the Raiders. He has decent numbers. Um, he kind of he kind of remind me of Adoree Jackson a little bit, a younger version. But we brought him here to compete for that second slot. He's not a rotational guy. We looking to see maybe he might beat these two guys out and take CB2 slot. Um, but other than that, everything is all good. Um, uh, Jahad Campbell. Whew, I don't know how y'all let the Eagles get their hands on this kid. Like he looks amazing out there. We hear nothing but great things about Jahad Campbell. He's taken to the defense. They had him out there, calling some of the defensive plays the other day. They also had swap him in, doing a little bit of edge rushing too. They said he looks really good there. Jordan Davis came into camp 32 pounds lighter,
Okay.
looking very healthy, very strong, very focused this year. Um, also, oh, Cooper DeJean has been taking some reps at safety. You know, also, he's still inside, our nickel corner, but he also, took some reps as safety back there with Reed Blankenship. He did play some safety in Iowa also, so he's very familiar with that position. That's also a position where we still have a question mark with. We have Sidney Brown there, but Sidney Brown is really he's like out of control. It's like he's like the Russell Westbrook of football. He runs a million miles per hour. It's like and he sometimes he'll catch himself out of position. Like he plays hard, but he plays it hard because he found himself out of position a lot. And it's been like his third. It's like his third year here. He did get a little derailed because he had an injury last year. They battled. I think he popped his Achilles. He's battling himself back. But what we seen from last year is like he was still like all over the place. It was I don't know. It was just I'm not very confident with him there. So the Eagles may make another move to bring in a safety. The name Justin Simmons has been floating around for 2 years. That's a Vic Fangio guy. He knows his defense. So if they do make a move by like the end of training camp, and it is like Justin Simmons, it wouldn't be a big, um, it wouldn't be a big deal that he hasn't been there during training camp because he knows the defensive scheme already. But we're just waiting, for the season to start. Very excited. And we're looking to repeat. That's the name of the game. As we sit back and we watch the other teams in the NFC East kind of implode within themselves per usual. Um, speaking
Oski
of
talking crazy. Pay attention. Oski
speaking
talking real
of
ish. Pay attention.
the Commanders and the Cowboys, the season hasn't even started. They haven't played one football game, and you got guys already throwing out trade demands. Oh well, I want a new contract. Oh well, then if I can't get a new contract, we ain't talking about contracts. Then trade me. I'm like, wow, that's that went very extreme. Like I want a new contract. Then the next day you want to trade me. So I'm like, wow, Terry. Um, I thought this was supposed to
Right.
be fair. They brought in Debo Samuels to be your Robin to your quote unquote Batman, and you're ready to jump ship already. Um, this is supposed to be the Commanders' year. All they're supposed to get they get back, they revenge. But you guys are imploding, within already. And then we look at the Cowboys, and is Jerry Jones doing Jerry Jones things? He has a problem paying certain players. You should already have paid this man, so you wouldn't have this issue. Now he's seeing what everybody else is getting. He y'all messed up and let him see
Yep. They let the horse out the
what
stable and the horse
Miles
done went crazy.
got,
Yep.
what TJ got. These guys are
Mm-hmm.
making bank, and now Mike is sitting there like, well, where's my check? You
Right.
know,
Micah
where's
like, oh word.
where's my money? And now, oh
Mm-hmm.
well, I want to be traded too. It's like now, do I think the Cowboys will trade Micah? I don't believe so. I think this is just him bitching and moaning about wanting more money. So he just trying to up the
That's the
price.
formula. Yep. That's the
Yeah,
formula.
yeah, and
Bitch and
then
moan,
it get your way.
and then they'll work it out closer to
Yeah,
get because he's gonna be on the field against
yeah.
the Eagles.
I think both those guys are not going anywhere. Washington would be a fool to trade Terry, and the Cowboys will be idiots to trade Micah. To any place. That would set the Cowboys franchise back 10 years if they let Michael leave. Um, but those are their issues. That we're laughing at from the sidelines. Um, also, what I'm also looking at forward to seeing. I'm also looking forward to seeing the Christian McCaffrey comeback. He's looking pretty good at training camp. But the number one thing I'm looking forward to seeing is J.J. McCarthy. I want to see if he lost anything, because I believe last year he was going to be. I believe he's going to be really good. For what I
JJ
had
McCarthy,
seen,
the Vikings.
yeah, what I had
Okay.
seen from last year in preseason, I was like, man, he's going to be good. And then he got hurt. So now I'm really interested in seeing how he comes back from that. And how much they're going to let him play in the preseason.
Hmm.
You know,
Um, on that note, JJ McCarthy note, he better be good. Sam Darnold not there no more. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So I think the Vikings are, throwing caution to the wind. And so far in training camp, he's looking like the truth. Picked up right where he left off.
hmm
So if the Vikings are not, missing Sam Darnold, by the time the first game rolls around, they're gonna be all right. But let me talk about my Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a second. Chris Godwin has surgery on his ankle, a second surgery. He's going to be on the pup list. That's the physically unable to perform list. He's going to be out at least 4 games, along with Tristan Wirfs. So our offensive line is going to have a dent in it when we play the first game against Atlanta. Baker Mayfield just came back. He had a contusion on his hand. Not really too worried about that. You know what I mean? Our wide receiver room is crazy. We got present Hall of Famers in there, future Hall of Famers in there. You know what I mean?
I do
Um,
like your tight end, the young guy, the what's that? The tight end you guys just got?
that Cole, not I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. Not Cole
No,
Komet. You talking about the
no,
other dude, the tight
the
end. I know who
young,
you're talking about.
yeah, the
Yeah.
young boy. I was like,
But here's the news basket. I'm gonna drop something on you. Teddy Bridgewater
yes,
expected to sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
yes.
I
Crazy
think they
how
did
the
Teddy. I
tables
think
have
they did
turned.
Teddy Bridgewater dirty in Miami with
They
that high
did.
school thing.
They did. That's what I'm saying. Funny how the tables have turned. You try to make him to be some type of villain,
Right.
predator. Like he's just helping out his team, helping out his
Right.
kids. It wasn't like he was doing something like some shady stuff or anything like that.
Right.
So for them to try to make him look like a villain, and now he's getting an opportunity to go back to the league,
Hmm.
I thought that was great. I'm happy for Teddy. I
Right.
celebrated that. I was like, oh, look at that. I said, that's wonderful. Yeah.
And I mean, like we have a kid, Watson. They won't let him practice unless he loses like 32
Yeah,
pounds. I think.
he's big. I saw him.
Yeah, he's crazy big. And again,
But
at the
why
end of the day,
draft him?
man, I think that Tampa Bay are again, not throwing caution to the wind. They're taking caution because we do not want to see what we've seen before with rest in peace Corey Stringer, you know what I mean, and numerous other guys. But you cannot come to camp like that, out of shape. They're not
Oh, he was
allowing you to
he,
practice
he was out of
until you
shape
know what I
when they
mean. That's
drafted him.
crazy.
He
It
was
is.
out
It's
of,
not like you. It's not like you can't do it. They just
yeah.
don't want you to do it.
But my man, he was out of shape when they drafted him. I
Yeah, he
said,
was
well,
out of
why?
shape when he drafted him. When we
I said,
drafted
well,
him,
why
yep,
would you
sure
draft
was.
him? Why would you guys do that? He's not serious. Because why would you come to the draft like that? That was that's
Because we needed that pick, and a lot of things now that we're working on things is like we drafted guys kind of like basketball. You draft a guy, you stash him away for a year or two. You know what I mean? But damn, where we gonna hide this dude at?
can't hide him.
You know what I mean? We can't hide him. But
Can't hide him.
again,
You see it everywhere.
I'm looking forward to what my Buccaneers are getting ready to do. A fifth straight NFC South title is going to be hard. I mean, it's going to really be a two-team race in the NFC South between us and Atlanta. I'm not really. New Orleans don't know what they're dealing with at quarterback. They drafted that dude Tyler Shaw. Oh my God. Then Carolina. You know what I mean? We sleeping on them too. So it's going to be a two-team race in the NFC South between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. I think that when we talk about right now, when we talk about teams that should be a little bit better than what they are, I think Atlanta has to be one of those teams because they have all the tools. They got the roster, they got the quarterback. They even got a quarterback that they thought they wanted, but they really don't want now. But they don't know how to get rid of him. And Kirk Cousins, you know what I mean? They got they have a running back who's ready to bust out. Remember we talked about him a couple of years ago when he had the
Yeah,
Lamborghini when he
Bijan.
was still at Texas. He
Yeah,
had the
Bijan.
Lamborghini in the driveway.
Mhm.
All right, and then we talk about Bijan Robinson. You know what I mean? And they got the kid Drake London at the wide receiver, and they got the tight end, and they, I mean, you know what I mean? So at Tampa Bay, we can't sleep. So I'm thinking my secondary, I'm looking at Jamel Dean, and Jamel Dean's spot about to get took. Jamel, and I am so happy, Browski. Because you know me and Jamel Dean. Jamel Dean is how do I put this? How do I put this? Jamel Dean is not that good. And I'm not
I
understanding. Well,
I don't
I
think
listen, Browski. I was getting ready to say
that.
I don't understand how they say, "Oh, Jamel Dean is this, Jamel Dean is that." Jamel Dean is garbage. That's my opinion.
I mean,
Jamel Dean makes a play here and there, but you look at some highlight films of these wide receivers, Kim, and you see
I'm getting
who
cooked.
the defensive back is getting torched. Is a lot of times is Jamel Dean.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Um, is Shallow gonna get some clock?
I'm hoping Shallow gets some burn. He's looking very, very impressive in camp. He's really got that edge about him. But here we go again, Kimmy. You already know the vibes. You can play 3 preseason games and look like the truth.
Yeah.
And them lights come on for real on Sunday or Thursday or Monday or whatever you playing. Then that's when we gonna find out,
Yeah.
right? And Browski, what have I been saying since we've been rocking for 3 years, right? Tampa Bay Buccaneers secondary is our hindrance. It hinders us. Our secondary sucks. And then it permeates to the linebacking core. Then the defensive line can't get to the. You know what I mean? So I'm feeling like this year is going to be our chance to show and prove to a lot of people that we are who we think we are. We're not going to take no step backwards.
Okay.
We're not going to take a step back. Even though we got played out last year when we played ourselves in the playoffs, we should have won. But hey, we didn't because we wasn't ready. But at the end of the day, we gonna be back, and that's all we're gonna talk about as far as the NFL is concerned.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Kimmy. Go ahead.
Before we move on to the NFL real quick, I got a quick question.
Go ahead.
Who do you think is going to start? Richardson or Danny Dimes?
For the Indianapolis Colts.
Hmm.
In my heart of hearts, I think it's gonna be Richardson
I
because
think it's
that's who
going to
they
be Danny
want.
Dimes.
You think it's gonna be Daniel Jones? And listen, and if it's Daniel Jones, then Anthony Richardson is done in Indianapolis. He's
I
done.
think he is. I mean, he's supposed to start the preseason game.
Uh huh.
That's telling. That's telling a lot. He's going to start the preseason game. Um, I think the team may operate better under Daniel Jones because he's an actual quarterback. I just think Anthony Richardson is just athletic, and he just happened to be a quarterback. He's a quarterback, but I think Michael Pittman and all them will be happy with Daniel Jones under center throwing the ball versus Anthony Richardson. But
But again, like you said, and you could be right. I mean, if Daniel Jones beats out Anthony Richardson, then again, the Colts, wasted money, a draft pick on a quarterback that can't perform, that wasn't really built like that anyway.
yeah,
When you let this reclamation project in Daniel Jones come in and take your spot.
yeah,
So I'm hoping to get. I think that the Colts would like to see Anthony Richardson. I mean, they pay both of those dudes a lot of money.
yeah,
They just want to see some results.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And in the division that they're in with Tennessee and Cam Ward doing what he does, and then Jacksonville, we just talked about Trevor Lawrence. You know
mhm,
what I mean? And Houston is the wild card in that division. So if
yeah,
anybody's going to step up to the plate, the big homies in Houston is going to be right there waiting for you. And C.J. Stroud, as we look at it right now, is the class of that division when you talk about quarterbacks. C.J. Stroud.
true, true.
So again, I think that Anthony Richardson, you
Mhm.
got up until the season one, game one, week one. If you're not the starting quarterback week one, then you might be looking for another job. Or because I know being a backup to Daniel Jones,
Yeah,
that's spooky work.
Yeah.
being a backup to that Daniel Jones,
Yeah.
tripping over his own feet, Daniel
Yeah.
Jones.
All the time.
Come on,
Yeah.
son. Come on, son.
And
Um,
one more question, Sim,
yeah, yeah,
what's
yeah.
your opinion about how do you feel about the banning the smelling salt? They banned it.
Um, I don't really see what's wrong with the smelling salts. Cause all smelling salts is ammonia, right? That's all it is ammonia. They got the little thing they break it into your nose,
Yeah.
and, and if that don't work, then you got to call the coroner.
Listen.
But I don't think
It,
why are they banning it? I heard about that. Was it Travis
yeah.
Kelsey saying something about that?
Yeah. Uh, um. Uh, George Kittle was,
Oh, George Kittle, my bad.
George Kittle was really big on the smelling salt. I remember a game where what's his name? Greg Hardy. He's playing for the Carolina Panthers, and the camera just glazed over the sideline,
Hmm.
and he's sitting on the bench, and he had about like three of them in his hand. And he's going just for no reason. He's not knocked out. He's just sitting on the bench.
Right.
He boom, and then went into the game. I said, "What is it?"
Well,
I
maybe they
said,
give you an extra.
"I said this
Listen.
guy is
Right,
crazy,"
right, right.
So when I saw that, I said, "All right." I said, "So what are these players have now found like a new edge with the smelling salt? Like, is it
I
gonna be some
mean,
type of
again,
advantage or something?" Um, I don't know.
they put that under your nose. First thing you want to do is run away too. So you want
Yeah.
it light a
So
fire right up under you. You know what I mean? You get up like, oh, you know what I mean? You be ready
yeah.
to get it cracking. So, I mean that I really thought that was going to be a situation that was going to take care of itself because smelling salts are what they are. You know what I mean? Smelling salts. You want to
Mhm.
bring a person back or whatever, but again, if you got Greg Hardy on the sideline getting big off of three smelling salts, then it
But
was an
but
adrenaline
but
rush and
yeah,
unfair advantage. What kind of unfair
crazy.
advantage is that?
But then you got George Kittle saying in the interview that he missed them already. So like, are they addicted to it? He's saying he missed them already. So maybe it's a good thing that they banned him because why are you missing it already? It's smelling salt. Like
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking smelling salts before the game, then maybe they should be banned.
yeah,
You know what I mean? If you're taking what do you need smelling salts before the game?
yeah.
What do you think of the new rules? They got a couple of new rules in regards to
Um,
in the regular season, the overtime rule where both team gets the ball.
yeah, I like that. I like it because
Okay.
we always say what if? What if Joe Burrow would have got no? Was it Joe or was it? Oh no, the other guy, Buffalo.
Josh
Um,
Allen,
yeah. What if Josh Allen?
Lamar Jackson.
No. It was against the Chiefs. What if Josh Allen would
Oh,
got the
okay.
ball? He never got a chance, you know, against the Chiefs to go out there. So that's always been the what ifs. Now it's no more what ifs. Um, I like it. Give both offenses
What about the kickoff? The kickoff rule. They got a new kickoff rule where now if the ball goes, you have to return it. If you kick it in where it can't be
and
returned,
that
like a touchback, it'll be
yeah.
at the 40-yard line.
I think that's a little ridiculous. Well, you already know my stance on kickoffs. I think it's only should be kickoff at the beginning of the game and at halftime. Um, you guys want to talk about safety all the time? Okay, team scores a touchdown, put the ball on the 25, 20 and 25 right there. You know, you
That's
trying to
still three-quarters of the field that you have to drive to get a touchdown. You're right.
yeah. So
And then it's like maybe even about if you're a strategizing, it
yeah,
might be like 40-50 if you got a good field goal kicker.
exactly. So
You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
like it should be only two kickoffs: beginning of the game and at halftime. What we need to kick off the ball all the time for? You guys keep switching the rules now to touchback. Then you put the ball on the 40. We're going to put the ball on the 50 next year. You're going to put the ball on the other side of the 40. What side of the 40 we talking about? We
You
talking about
got-
my side or your side? Okay,
Right. Right.
like what are we doing? You got to kick the ball within this zone from the goal line to the 10 yard. Like you
Yeah.
got this
Mm-hmm.
little
Mm-hmm.
area.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too. You get penalized if you go to the back of the end
Yep.
zone. Now it's
Yep.
like, what are we
You get
doing?
penalized if you kick out of bounds. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like just get rid of it. Two kickoffs, beginning of the game and at the beginning of halftime. You score, I get the ball on the 20 and the 25. You score, I score, you get the ball on 20 25. Like just let's just do it that way, because
Okay.
it's just getting ridiculous. Yeah.
What are we thinking about in regards to the NCAA? The preseason rankings came out. Texas. I mean, it sounds like a scam, or it sounds like it could be a way to hype the game up. Texas is ranked number one. Ohio State's number two, and of course, Texas and Ohio State play the first game of the season.
Yep. So that's gonna flip. So that's gonna flip real quick.
So that whole thing, I got a little hope held out for my Miami Hurricanes, because we got Carson Beck now from Georgia at quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking that the way those teams that are going to be ahead of us, because I think Miami's ranked ninth or 10th,
Miami
those
10th.
teams are going to be cannibalizing each other. So they're going to be dropping, you know what I mean, and other teams are going to be moving up. So we play Notre Dame. Our schedule is crazy. We go back to playing Notre Dame and all that good stuff. So I'm looking forward to the college football season, because it's going to mean a lot. Because again, with all the teams moving to different conferences and things of that nature, it puts more emphasis on the regular season games.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The rankings was a little controversial there, especially here on the East Coast. Um, Penn State folks was a little angry. They felt disrespected with the number 3 ranking.
How you finished last year?
I that's a see. I was gonna go there. I said number 3 is actually quite generous because
Yeah.
you know how Penn State rolls. You gotta beat Ohio State. When you beat Ohio State, then you can start feeling like you are getting
Calling shots.
slighted.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right, right,
I
right.
need this year, since you feel so slighted, I need y'all to just run full force this year. And
Run
then
through the
when you
Big
get
Ten. Run the table. Yep.
run the table, and then when you get to that Ohio State game, you beat Ohio State. You beat them. Um, you got Georgia at 4,
Hmm.
Notre Dame at 5, Clemson at 6,
That's the one I
Oregon.
didn't understand.
Clemson at 6 is wild.
I didn't. I didn't
Oregon
understand
at
that.
7, Clemson at
It's
6,
wild.
Oregon at 7. That's wild. Alabama at 8, LSU at 9, and then Miami at 10. Yeah, Clemson at 6.
It's
I
crazy.
said
It-
not
I don't know
only
what. Mm-hmm.
not only Clemson
Hmm.
at 6, but they got 2 first place votes. Who voted for them to
They
get
must be scared of Dabo Sweeney. They
Dabble
scared
Sweeney?
of Dabo Sweeney.
Yo,
Like Clemson. I heard people talk about Clemson's going to like run through the ACC. I'm like, word.
they say Clemson gonna go undefeated, 16-0. I said
I'm not
what?
buying that.
Went
That's one.
undefeated.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
But for them
I'm
to
not
be
buying
at
it.
6 is wow.
And six is too high.
6 is what I'm saying. 6. Them to be above Oregon is kind of wild to
They
me.
can't beat Miami, right? And Miami's 10th. You're
Alabama,
not beating us. Neutral field.
LSU.
I don't care what we play at. You're not beating us. And LSU, that's another one. Like, where did they come from?
I said LSU at 9. What happened to
They were supposed to
Arizona
win the They
State?
were supposed to win it all last year. They still getting respect.
But and then you disrespect Arizona State at 11, but you put LSU at 9 and Clemson at 6. I said, what's happening? But you know
But then you
what?
know what? Go ahead, Kimmy.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
No. Finish your thought.
No, no,
I
no.
got it. I got it. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, you know what? Who am I? I'm not a part of the committee. I don't have a vote. I don't have a vote. I'm just a spectator. But I know Clemson at 6,
It's crazy.
LSU at 9
Right. It's
is
crazy.
wild, and Arizona
Right.
State at 11 is crazy.
But you know what? And this is what I was gonna say. In today's atmosphere in college football, you know the team that's gonna be that needs to be mad, that should be mad. What team is 13th?
South Carolina.
South Carolina should be mad
Yeah, they should be
because
higher.
12 teams make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I don't.
those 12 teams, you're looking at Clemson, Miami, LSU. Is Texas A&M in there?
No, number 12 is Illinois.
They trying to put some respect on the teams that made the playoffs last year. That's what it
But
sounded like to me. Arizona
but
State.
but but to have Illinois at 12, South Carolina at 13, Michigan at 14, Ole Miss at 15, Florida is at 17, Tennessee at
What
18.
number is Alabama? What number is Alabama?
Alabama is 8th.
Now, Bama should have been
Yes.
6.
Yes.
Bama should have been 6 because
Yes.
DeBoer is not going to. They're not going to lose 4 games again. They
No,
lost
they're
four
not.
games last year.
No, they're not
Alabama's
gonna
not
lose.
going to lose 4 games
Mm-mm.
again.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
No.
So Alabama should have, in my opinion, Browski. I don't know how your vote goes, but in my opinion, I think Alabama should have been 6.
Yeah, I think
And
Bama
I don't
moved
know
up.
what the hell they talking about with Clemson. Who does Clemson have besides Dabo Swinney?
That's who they got. And he going he's the quarterback, running back, offensive line, defensive line, secondary, everything. I they everything, but I don't know. This ranking after after the top four, after 5, yeah, I'm fine with Notre Dame being at number 5, but like again, Clemson at 6 is where it starts getting crazy.
Clemson at 6 is wow.
Yeah, yeah. And Texas. I mean, it could have been Texas. It could have been Ohio State. I think it's Texas because of Manning. I think it's um they better win. They're giving them all this hype. They better
That's
win.
that's the that's the main thing.
They better win. I don't
That's the
think
main thing.
I don't think Ohio State gonna repeat. It's gonna be hard for them to repeat. I think Notre Dame may shock some folks. I feel like Notre Dame may move up from 5 to maybe
Well,
2
we're
or
gonna see
3.
from the door because they play Miami,
Yeah. So
so we're gonna see what it is.
yeah.
Um, we're in the building. We're gonna be in the building all season. We're gonna do. I added on the Facebook page the top sevens. We're gonna rank top 7 all season long. So it's the top 4 make the top 4, right? Get buys, I think,
Yes.
and then everybody else. But should we do a top 12, Browski, or do a top like 13
I mean, we could do
every
top.
week?
Yeah, we could do like top 13 and have who we think should be in the outside.
Okay, that's
Mm,
what's up.
You know,
That's what's up. Uh
but
huh.
yeah.
Moving right along because we got a few minutes left, but we want to try to get everything in, and we got all season to talk some NCAA football and some NFL. One of Browski's favorite topics that's close to her heart, WNBA. Now I want to set this off real quick.
Go right ahead.
The Connecticut Sun, huh? The Connecticut Sun,
Hmm.
they're going the way of the Dallas. The Detroit Shock. Any other old school WNBA team you want to think of? They were sold to investor from Boston, I believe.
Hmm.
So are they going to move the team to Boston?
Hmm.
And they'll probably end up still playing in the same place.
They said they're gonna move the team to
And the Mohegan Sun.
Boston. No, because the Mohegan
They're going to
Sun.
play in TD Garden.
Yeah, they're gonna be in Boston because Mohegan
Okay.
Sun. They was looking to move the team, to relocate the team. So they're going to be playing in Boston in 2027.
Okay.
Now
All
I don't
right. So
know
that's
I don't know if it's
another.
gonna be the same name. I don't know if it's gonna be the Boston
Mhm.
Sun, but I don't know if it's gonna be a name change. But I mean that's exciting to have a team move to a major city. You know we've been looking to expand. Um, it's not an expansion, but it's having a team in another major market with the backing of the Boston Celtics. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm happy about that. But let's talk about the WNBA real quick because unlike the NBA, the WNBA you can get traded at any moment.
Yep.
you
Go ahead,
know,
Browski.
at any moment. So we had um, the Minnesota Lynx. They traded for Dejanay Carrington from Dallas.
Dallas. Mhm.
Um, that's definitely going to be a big help for them. She's a great defender. Um, she got a nice handle. She got a nice shot. Very athletic. Quick first step. Take it to the rack. But on the defensive side, she's a lockdown defender. So bringing that in um, to 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 the Lynx, they definitely pushing for their championship, and
Right.
they've been killing it all season. So that's that addition is crazy. And then you turn around and the Storm they traded for Brittany Sykes from the
Hmm.
Mystics, to Seattle Storm, which also a huge help for them. She's gonna fit right into their rotation and help for that push into the playoffs. Because we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
Mhm.
Certain teams that we are so used to seeing at the top of the rankings have now
Liberty,
fallen
Aces.
somewhere in the middle. They in the middle of the pack.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, the Minnesota Lynx, they basically are running away with this season. They're 24-5, top of the pack. Your defending champions, New York Liberty, um, 18-10. One of the biggest shocks of the season is the Atlanta Dream. On
Mm.
their third spot,
And the
18
numbers.
11. Phoenix Mercury, um, again, Indiana Fever. These teams are now making a move, and they are maintaining their position without Caitlin Clark. Aaliyah Boston has really stepped up and has become
Awesome.
that. She's been killing it. Double
Mhm.
double, 24-10, twenty
Mhm.
six and
Mhm.
12. Like really doing the thing
She on
there.
some Roy. She on some Roy Jones in case you forgot.
For real. And then you got, Seattle who just made the big trade to bring in
Mhm.
Sky. So they're right there. Then you also got the Aces. Aces is finding
Can't forget
out.
about them. Still gotta put some
Still,
respect on them.
still got
Yep.
to put some respect on the Aces, but they have now seen the league has caught up with them, and they
And
have
almost passed them by. Yeah, let's go, Kim.
yeah,
Let's go, Browski.
yes,
Yep.
and they are
Yep.
now
Life come at you fast. Yep.
looking up. They're looking up. They usually looking behind.
Looking
But now
behind them.
behind them now,
Right. Yep.
they're looking up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have also the Golden State Valkyrie. First year team,
Doing numbers, right.
500 season. That's a victory of its
Yep.
own right there.
In itself, right. Right.
Making a push. For the postseason. Um, a team with really zero star power. You know, a group of what people may call role players that play very well together. They play team basketball there in Golden State, and I like what they've been doing. So, you got the rest of the guys at the bottom. Washington, the Sparks. They just recently got Cameron Brink back. From injury, she got injured last
Mm-hmm.
year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I can
And they doing their
understand.
thing now. Yeah, the Sparks.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. You know, their struggles this season because they was missing their star
You know
players.
who you haven't mentioned one time, and I'm proud of you, Browski.
Cool.
I'm just gonna let you figure it out. You have the WNBA chop up. You haven't mentioned this person's name one time.
Oh, Angel Reese.
Yes.
Because you know, trust me, I'm getting there because disappointment. You know, one being the Dallas Wings are extremely disappointing this season. Um, you know, I
Yeah, you forgot
thought,
about Paige,
bringing
right?
in Paige Beckers, you already
Mm-hmm.
had Enrique there. They had a team
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know what went into the GM's head when you start trading away everybody. You know, Nalissa got her out of there early. Now you just traded away DJNA. So it's just like,
I'm trying not to win.
that's what it seems like. So it's like, so are they
Tanking?
just taking? Yeah, because they see what's
I
out
just threw
there.
that out there. Are you taking?
Because you see who's coming in. The next draft class is a six
Oh
man
yeah,
class.
you ain't slick out this mother.
Yeah.
Right,
And
right,
so
right,
I'm looking
right,
at
right.
them. I'm looking at Chicago, and I'm looking at Connecticut also. You know, Chicago is. I don't understand what's going on here. You know, you don't bring back. I can't
Lisa
think of her name.
Weatherspoon,
You
the
don't bring
coach.
back Teaspoon. You trade away Marina Mayberry. You
Mm-hmm,
don't bring
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
back Kennedy,
Yeah, mm-hmm.
and then you know you still have Angel Reese, and you still have
Cardoso,
um,
mm-hmm.
Camila Cardosa. Obviously, those two is not working. Me personally, I feel like you have to move on from one of them. You have to make a choice. Are you going to stick with Angel, or are you going to stick with Camilla? Because for some reason, it's not working with both of them on the floor together. I feel like for them to be successful, they have to make a decision. In Connecticut right
Because
now,
the focus can't be on both of them, right?
yeah, folks can't be on both
Okay,
of them. You got to
okay.
make a choice. And then with Connecticut, they just in a total rebuilding of the franchise. Now we know the franchise is going to Boston. Maybe once they get there, they'll attract some more players. We have more teams. Then we have better competition coming in. And we see, I just think they just need to do a whole redo of that franchise.
Franchise.
Just redo it.
That's what it is. And to come away from this conversation that I had is that Yadier says that some of the WNBA teams are tanking. And the
Okay.
more I look at it, see, Yadier Browski says some stuff. I don't know that this stuff. I don't know what's in the air, them high ceilings. I don't know what's in the air. You know what I'm saying? But he's saying some profound stuff. To me, that's almost on the same level as when you said that Philly didn't have a WNBA team. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kick myself in the butt because I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't think about it. But when you put it in that context of you're trading away this one, a person who could definitely help you get to that next level or be better, you're trading away players to be worse. So when you're worse, you get what? A better position in the what? In the draft.
Worst to first.
So I'm looking at this, I'm like, damn, Dallas. Damn, Connecticut. Damn. Like,
Hmm.
and then you do the knowledge, like, oh yeah, look who's coming in.
Yeah.
And Juju's not next year, right? Juju's the year after, right?
Yeah. After.
So if they take it this, you know where I'm
Because
going. If they
yeah,
take it this year,
What next year gonna look like? Cause you know
The
this
Liberty
year,
will probably be taken next year, so they can. You know what I mean? Listen, you can't put nothing past nobody, because
see,
the idea and the objective is to do what, Kimmy? Win
win
championships.
championships. Yep.
But to me, it seems like some of these teams' objective is to lose in the hopes of drafting someone who can help you do what? Win a
Win
championship.
championship. Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. And again, that's going to be a segue into our next topic right here. We got a few minutes left in this 2 hour show right now. Um, Gambling.
Ah,
Now, I've been known to go, throw a couple monies on some, things on Sundays or maybe during the week.
mhm.
But I'm not going to get called out by my job because I'm gambling. I'm not going to be gambling and then be in the game that I'm gambling on. Like, it's not an epidemic yet, Kimmy, because a really, really big name hasn't been attached to this. But when you talk about Emmanuel Classe from the Guardians, that's big enough for me.
I mean,
And we're not even good.
well, wait a
And we
minute.
passed Malik Beasley. We passed him.
Wait a
We
minute.
passed Malik
Well,
Beasley.
hold up. Hold on. I gotta
Go ahead,
step
Kimmy.
in
I'm
because we
sorry. Go
did
ahead.
have
I'm
a
sorry. Go
big
ahead.
name. We did have a big name, and MLB said, "Oh no, this guy can't go down for that because he's
Oh,
too good."
Otani.
Exactly. Oh no, we can't have him go down for this. We're gonna get his man and get him out of here. Gonna blame it all on
Right.
him because
Right,
now
Browski.
all of a sudden Otani can speak English now. Why he need to translate all that time? He speaks
Right.
perfectly good English to me,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But
He must have been watching. He must have been watching Mad Sanford and Son episode. you know
uh-huh.
what I mean? He must
But
have been
now you
watching
know,
Mad Saturday Night
yeah.
Live. You know what I'm saying? But
But
yeah,
but 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 to
Browski,
have these guys
you
now,
right.
it's,
You are
you
so
know,
right, Browski. So right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
like having these guys
Shohei
come out now,
Otani.
yeah,
Right.
it's just
Right.
crazy. It's
Right.
crazy. Gambling, it's why, why?
I think about, how they kind of like, to me, a little hypocritical at times
Hmm.
when they'll have a betting show on, but
Oh
then they'll say, you know, if you have a problem with betting, with gambling, 1-800 whatever.
yeah, call
You know what
AM
I'm
Hunter
saying?
Gambler.
Like, what are you doing? You put the bait out there. Then when somebody jumps at the bait, now they're a bad person.
Yeah,
But then you're showing the Eagles -7 against the Giants, and you know what I mean. And then all of a sudden, if something happens to somebody, it'll be -9 or -5. It can go either way.
yeah.
So again, you're what's the word I'm looking for, Browski? Enabling guys like a Otani or rest in peace Pete Rose
Yeah,
or Gilbert Arenas. So what's the kid in Toronto? The one that got banned from the NBA.
yeah. But it's also I gotta look at them like you gotta have some self control. Why are you betting on the sport that you're playing? If you need to bet so bad, bet on some horses.
Bet on the horses. Bet on soccer. Bet
Bet
on
on
field
soccer.
hockey. Bet on something else.
Bet on UFC. Bet on the
Right.
fights. Go
Right.
to the casino and play poker, play blackjack, play the
Gilbert
slots.
Arenas got something popping. You can go see him.
Gilbert said, "I
You
just."
might not want to. You might not want to do that, but I'm just saying.
Gilbert said, "I just rented the house."
Oh, so the house came with gambling tables with your name on it.
He just rented the house. He didn't know what was going on. It's hilarious.
And you know what? And again, I don't want to be like get off my lawn, Stanley, and all that, the older guy or whatever. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm like, what the hell? These dudes do all this, think they're gonna get away with it, and at the time they are getting away with it. But when they get bagged or when they got to deal with the consequences of their actions, you didn't know what, huh?
I didn't know I couldn't do that.
So this is where it gets kind of the gray area. Why are you even allowing them to even say that when you say they're not supposed to be gambling, right?
Yeah.
Do like Otani, hire you somebody
To
that
do
you
everything
trust
for you.
to
Exactly.
do everything, and you ain't
Yep.
got to be attached to nothing.
Nothing. So what happened to him? We don't see him no more. He out of
And
there.
like you said, and now Brown, and now Otani can have can have a conversation with you, a full fledged conversation with you about the War of 1812.
Exactly. We need translator for.
You know what I'm saying? That's how much English he know. He's
Yeah.
on it now. He's slang teacher out this piece.
For real.
Before he was like, oh well, you need an interpreter, this and that and the third. Whoop de whoop. I bet you understand jail. You
Oh no.
understand any language.
Exactly. Prisons. No.
FBI, you understand that.
No.
You know what I mean? But
IRS.
again, these guys who, I don't understand. I mean, again, how much money can you have? You know what I mean? You got to get, and then you get a guy out here like on the other end of that spectrum. You get a guy like Floyd Mayweather, who's constantly gambling, but he's not a baseball player.
Exactly.
He gambles on baseball. He's not a
Exactly.
football player. He gambles on football. He's not a basketball player. He
Yep.
definitely gambles on basketball.
Yes.
And we're not saying it like in a hushed tone, or we're saying because it's what it is. Because
Yeah.
why? Because Floyd Mayweather is not a MLB star, NFL star, or an NBA star, or
No.
a soccer player, or any of that. But he can
Exactly.
bet all he wants on anything, and he will let you know, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the only thing that's keeping MLB, NFL, and NBA players from gambling is what? Their profession. You want to gamble? Retire. Turn your uniform in.
Yeah.
You want to get? You can gamble all you want. Look at Shannon Sharp. He gambled.
Yeah.
He lost
He lost. He
big
lost
time.
big time. He lost big time.
And let's get to that for a second. When we talking about gambling, Shannon Sharp gambled, and this is what I've been dying. I've been dying to say this. And my opinions expressed, the opinions expressed on Down in Sports do not reflect on Browski. If you got something you want to get at me, because I hold my own weight. And I ain't biting my tongue for nobody, right? Shannon Sharp, you played yourself. You came from the backwoods somewhere, no disrespect. Shout out to my man Kwame Brown, right? You developed into a quasi star, Super Bowl champion, all that. From one franchise, Denver Broncos, Baltimore Ravens, Super Bowl champion. Dope,
Hmm.
dope, dope. Can't nobody take that away from you. But the star of your family was not you, Shannon Sharp. The star of your family was Sterling Sharp. Sterling Sharp was the one catching all them touchdown passes from Brett Favre. Sterling Sharp was the one that was doing all the work. So for me, you saying that, oh, I really wish ESPN would have waited till for what? Walt Disney ain't gotta wait for nobody. You the one that messed up. You the one that besmirched their image. You the one that dragged them through the mud. You the one that gambled on the situation that you was in and you lost.
Hmm.
You. So having, let me go in, Browski. Having Cat Williams on your show back in January wasn't enough. Having it, all these people from all walks of life and entertainment coming on your show, Club Shay Shay, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. You was on Undisputed. You was with Skip Bayless. And this and Browski, I'm telling you, I'm going in. You was with Skip Bayless. You a football player. What you know about basketball? You a football player. What you know about baseball? Stay in your lane, son. You was on Undisputed. Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, mad cachet. Everybody respect you. You doing your thing. You and your man was getting into it. Conversations turned personal. I know because I've been through them. Then you were the proverbial victim. Oh, he shouldn't have said that to Shannon Sharp. Oh, he was, emasculating Shannon Sharp. And he told Shannon Sharp to put your glasses on or take them off and all of this. He was punking Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp. Skip Bayless wasn't the one coming on the set with Hennessy. Skip Bayless wasn't the one coming on the set with the do-rag.
Black and Mild.
Skip Bayless wasn't the one talking about, oh, grandma told me back in the day. You was putting yourself off as the country boy who made good and is now applying his wares after his career is over and still getting to the bag. Let me cook, Browski. And still getting to the bag. You have an infatuation with LeBron James. Every other word came out your mouth was Lakers in 5. I don't care if you was talking about horse racing from 1983. Somehow the conversation got back to Lakers in 5. This is you, Shannon Sharp, right? You had that fallout with Skip Bayless, highly publicized. Everybody knew about it. But you know what? Everybody chose a side. And the side that they chose was yours, Shannon Sharp. Oh, he tried to play him out. He shouldn't have did him like that. Shannon Sharp need to go on his own and die, whoop-de-woo. And here comes Stephen A. Smith. And ESPN wiggling their way into, oh, that's my man. I got to bring my man on. One of the brightest lights that can talk NFL. Well, what do you think? Randy Moss wasn't coming back? Let me cook, Browski. You thought what? You thought Randy Moss wasn't coming back? So Shannon Sharp got so large, right, that he forgot that he was Shannon Sharp. He really thought he was Shay Shay for real.
Yeah.
Let me cook him. He thought he was Shay Shay for real, for real. You know what happens? Well, what happens when we out there and we doing our thing and the limelight is on us a little bit, we got access to everything. And when I say everything, I'm going to take my glasses off, Kim. Everything. And if you never had nothing in that particular context, you're not going to know what to do with it once you get it. Because, let me turn my hat around. In that context, you're supposed to keep that to yourself. Don't tell your mans. Don't tell none of that. Because what's going to happen is you're going to end up on TMZ. And what happened, Shannon Sharp? You didn't end up on MTV. You ended up on TMZ. And you just made life easier for some anonymous chick. Right? And the only thing you got out, I'm about to get to the end, Browski. The only thing you get out of this is that you was worried about ESPN and when they was, you ain't in control of that, dog. And you shouldn't have said nothing. If that's the case, you should have waited until after your brother got inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's just my opinion. That's how a real player would have played it. Not somebody who's looking for the limelight. But nobody's looking for sympathy. Right? Because that went out the window when you was with Skip Bayless. So Shannon Sharp, you brought that on yourself. You played yourself out. And how you going to come back from this? I don't think Cat Williams messing with you at this point. So I done cooked. I said my piece. I spoke my mind. And again, gambling is not a win. Gilbert Arenas going to tell you he didn't know. Shay Shay going to say wait till Monday. Right? And I guarantee you, I can hear it now, Brodsky. Look. Somebody somewhere in Philadelphia is click-clacking without a care in the world. Somebody in the Brooklyn Project is click-clacking without a care in the world. And you know what they doing? They laughing at you, Shannon Sharp. Mm-hmm. They laughing at you, dog. And I'm gonna end my TED talk on that. Give it back to Browski. I'm sorry, Browski. I just had to say it. I had to say it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are tiptoe around it and this, that, and the third. No, you did that. What my man Flavor Flav say?
Mm.
It was you that chose your do. You built the maze you can't get through. We tried to help you all we can, but now we can't do nothing for you, man. Know what I mean? And that's about the size of it. We was cheering for you, Shannon Sharp, with all your, the little different ways you would say stuff, and you would always put your grandma in the mix.
It's always
Now I wonder what grandma's thinking about you now. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Down in Sports Talk, man. Tuesday night. Send all your emails and all that to Browski. She answers right promptly. She'll get back to you like in 15 minutes. Good, bad, and indifferent. Um, this is the favorite part of the show. Browski loves. We're gonna let Browski cook. I know she got something that she wants to talk about. But before we do that, let me take this off the screen. Before we do that, Browski is one of the biggest wrestling fans that I know. A very big event happened over the weekend. It wasn't just one night or 2 nights. It was like 4 nights, Browski.
I mean,
It was
all
from
together,
Thursday,
yeah. Yeah, all together, yeah, because you had all the different events. Yeah.
and they got down at MetLife. You know what I mean? That's probably the hardest tackling you're gonna see all year at MetLife Stadium. Is what
Yeah.
occurred at SummerSlam. Browski is the wrestling aficionado, the wrestling expert, right? So we're gonna before we get into the get down on it and get up out of here, Browski's gonna wax poetic about SummerSlam.
Yeah, wow, what a great introduction. But yes, SummerSlam was this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday. First time that SummerSlam has been 2 nights. It's generally just one night. It's something new that WWE has been doing, and it has been actually very successful, splitting up like the major events. WrestleMania has been 2 nights for the past couple of years, and now this is the first year for SummerSlam at MetLife, and both shows was excellent. I have to say, I was quite surprised of how great the cards was. Some of the big highlights, of course, on night one was CM Punk versus Gunther for the heavyweight championship. CM Punk came out victorious, only for Seth Rollins to come in and cash in his money in the bank briefcase for a title match right there on the spot, and he took the title away from CM Punk.
Man,
Um, everybody
easy
thought,
come, easy go, dude.
yeah, bro, CM Punk was only champion for 5 minutes. Everybody thought
Literally, right,
literally
Browski?
5 minutes. Everybody thought that Seth Rollins was hurt. He's been faking it, and he came back at the right time, cashed it in, got the belt. That happened on night one. Also, you had new women tag team champions. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss beat the Judgment Day. They won the tag titles. That was a good match. Um, night two, night two was really big because this is John Cena's retirement run. So night two, he wrestled Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Um, it was a great match. It was a street fight type of match. Falls anywhere. Um, Cody Rhodes won. Cena dropped the title, which I was happy about. He had a good title run. He was more of the heel, being the bad guy once in his career. He did a good job at it, but it seemed like at the end he kind of flipped back to being the baby face, being a good guy.
Hmm.
Um, at the end of the match, he shook and hugged Cody Rhodes' hands, showed a sign of respect, basically passing up the torch.
Mm-hmm.
That was John Cena last SummerSlam. He has 4 more months left in this year to perform. Um, Brock Lesnar came back and F5 John Cena in the ring, so I'm guessing he's going to have a final match with Brock coming up soon. They're probably setting up for that. So basically, he just been going around and like having his last matches with some of the big names in WWE. Like he fought CM Punk, he fought Randy Orton. This is the second time fighting Cody Rhodes. So it's like he's going through his last hurrah. And it's he definitely deserve it. He has been the face of WWE for so many years. He kind of took over the spot that the late Hulk Hogan had with being the face of the organization, especially as a good guy. Um, Hulk Hogan recently passed away. You know, his legacy is a little tainted because of the person that he was, not the character. Um, I respect his in ring ability, what he did for the sport of wrestling. Um, he made wrestling even more global. He made wrestlers into superstars, household names, being in movies,
Mm-hmm.
commercials, TV shows. Um, everybody had a Hulkamania T-shirt, the bandana, the the action figures, the plushie dolls that we all had. Like so, you know, beside him as a person, him as Terry was a crappy human being, but him as Hulk Hogan is a legendary wrestler, fantastic. So definitely, salute to him. But SummerSlam was great. I hope they keep it as a 2 night event. Because it was definitely really good all around. They did a phenomenal job, and can't wait to next year. So you know,
All
yeah,
right, no doubt. Best part about it for me is that it was on Netflix,
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
and I got to see it. You know what I mean? I did watch. You know what I watched? I watched. What is it? Mysterio, Rey
Yeah,
Mysterio stuff.
yeah, yeah.
That
Dominic
was
Mysterio.
slick. That was hard body what he did
Yeah, yeah.
to with AJ
The boot.
Styles. That was
Yeah,
crazy. I listen. The homie was like, "My daddy's gonna be rocking with me. I got to make my daddy look good." He took that the boot. I was like, "Oh, pretty sneaky." I said, "Okay."
uh huh.
I watched the Cena and Cody Rhodes match.
Yeah,
I really was lost on the fact that Cena's been wrestling for since the '90s,
yeah,
basically, right? And he's still doing his thing.
yeah.
And it just dawned on me how, remembering, you brought up Hulk Hogan back in
Mhm.
the days when I, would go to my grandma's house when we was little
Yeah.
and watch wrestling and Hulk Hogan and Iron Sheik and Bruno
Mhm.
Sammartino and Bob Backlund and all that. Hulk Hogan was amongst that.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, like you said, Browski, you put it very eloquently. It would have been, it's kind of like it's easier to look at Hulk Hogan, the character, and then you look at Hulk Hogan, the person. I mean, Terry Bollea, the person, and be
Mhm.
like, okay, they do on different ends of the spectrum. I think that's what makes it, dope in this aspect. You could look
Yeah.
at them; these kids, see Hulk Hogan, and whoop de whoop, grew up with him, this and that and the third. But behind the scenes, these kids don't care about the behind the scenes.
They don't.
They want to see the good Hulk Hogan, the yellow and red, then the NWO Hulk, Hulk Hogan and all that. At the end of the day, he had a career that a lot of people would have, literally died to have,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
we watched him, go through his thing or whatever the case may be. And there's always going to be athletes that, whenever they get between, in his case, in the ropes, he's that person we cheer on. But once he comes outside the ropes and lets us know who he is outside of that persona, then we
Yeah.
be like, wow, this is the dude we cheering for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, you reap what you sow, and, Hulk Hogan, all you need to know about him is his own daughters didn't, attend his situation. But that's all I want to talk about with that. We got like 5 minutes left. Browski, you already know what it is. This is Browski's favorite part of the show. It's called Get Down on It. What we getting down on, Browski? We just came
I,
back from summer hiatus.
I
Browski
know.
was chilling. I was chilling. Now we back. What we doing, Browski?
I'm getting down on the NFL and ESPN buying the NFL network, buying the rights to Red Zone. I love Red Zone. ESPN is going to ruin Red Zone. I heard a rumor that it may be Dan Orlowski and Stephen A. Smith doing the Red Zone. I don't want to. I don't want that. I don't want to hear Stephen A. Smith talking for 7 hours while I'm watching several games on Red Zone. And now I'm thinking that they're probably going to start charging it for the Red Zone. They might take it off of TV and have it on the app so that you had to subscribe for Red Zone. I listen, when the Eagles have like a late game or a bye week, or we playing on Monday or Sunday night or Thursday night. My day is me consistent sitting in front of the TV with the Red Zone channel on, watching multiple
Watching
games
everybody
at one
else.
time.
Right.
And I don't understand why you need two guys where the one guy he did it all
Scott
by
Hansen.
himself.
Right.
Scott Hansen did it all by himself. You know, by himself, one guy with 8 games in the background, and we're going from game to game, looking at highlights, looking at red zone coverage, watching interceptions, touchdowns, field goals, all the good moments. One guy, and you
One
tell me
guy for 7 hours.
7. Now you tell me I might have a panel of guys, and one of the guys is Stephen A.
That's after the commercials come back.
Yes. So
Because they got to pay for that. They got to have to pay for that.
yeah,
Yes,
so
absolutely.
I'm just extremely disappointed that ESPN got their greedy hands on Red Zone. And now we're going to sit back and look at a whole new Red Zone. Going to be so many changes. That's what I'm getting down on. What about you?
I'm kind of in the thing with you getting down on like the NFL, but here's the thing. I want to get down on the fact that that dude got off the elevator at the wrong floor. Respect to the people who, lost their
Yeah,
life and things of that nature. But I'm
yeah.
getting down on the fact that this dude traveled all the way from Las Vegas specifically to shoot up the NFL offices. Thank goodness he didn't make it there. But here's what I'm going to get down on, Kim. You see a dude walking down the street in New York City with an AR-15 rifle, and don't nobody say word to
Nobody don't
first.
say nothing.
Nobody flags down the
Nobody.
cop. Nobody says, "Hey, what's this guy?" You know. But that's New York City. You might have been filming a movie scene.
Or it's the
It was
culture that
almost a
we.
movie scene.
Yeah, or it's the culture that we in. Oh, I'm not snitching. I'm not snitch. I'm not snitch. I'm not snitch. I don't snitch.
Or I don't want to get involved. You know what I mean? But you don't realize that until after the fact. 'Cause I'm imagining, you're looking at the pictures with the guy. We're talking about the guy who shot up the offices, not the NFL offices, but that's what he wanted to do. But he didn't make it there, thankfully. You look at the pictures of the guy, and it's like nobody's like pointing at him. Nobody's got that look on his face like, what? Everybody's just going about their business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I want to get down on the fact, man, that CTE is a serious thing, yo. We've
Mhm.
seen it. You know what I mean? We could name Dave Durson, rest in peace, Junior Seau, rest in peace. You know what I mean? But they got to fix that. And taking Red Zone away from the fans who support you in the first place is not the
Mhm.
way to do it. And putting Stephen A. Smith and Dan Orlovsky, Mr. Step Out of Bounds, is not the way to do it. So on that note, because we got like 45 seconds left, down to In Sports, Browski's in the building, Left Hand is in the building. at RM Des on Twitter, which is this right now. We gonna be coming at you, right? Me and Browski gonna have a powwow behind the scenes, and we gonna work some things out. All right? Be ready to see more of us, more of Browski, because you know he wants to see my ugly mug. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna be talking like we talk and making it do what we do. All right, so we in the building. That's Browski over there. It's left-handed over here. Down in sports, we got 10 seconds left. Browski, get it in. 10 seconds. We got 10 seconds. Get it in.
Hey, go Phillies, go Birds. Welcome back, NFL. We made it, people. We made
Good night.
it.